I'm Jill, and today I'm going to show you some of my favorite home remedies for poison ivy. My children get poison ivy all throughout the summer and sometimes in the winter. You can actually catch it in the winter too. And it's very important when you first notice a rash to just take care of it right away before it spreads. And so these are some effective ways that I have treated poison ivy in my house. I have baking soda here, and I'm just adding enough water to make a paste. And this I've used more than once, and it just was a big relief after just a couple applications. But you just make a paste and you just put it on the affected area and you let it dry, and you keep it on there for about 20 minutes, and that takes the itch away and it helps dry it up. And just repeat it as often as you need to until you can see a big difference that it's actually going away. Another thing is plantain. I talk about this a lot because it's just very versatile to use, and this draws out the poison ivy. Plantain is a drawing herb, and it will draw out the poison of the poison ivy. So it's a good idea to break it up to release the herbal properties. You can also, crush it with a jar or cup like that to bruise it. Whichever way you prefer, and you just fill up a jar. I have a pint jar here, but you could also fill up a quart jar, just depending on how much you want to make. And this is a vinegar tincture. I'm going to do it with vinegar because apple cider vinegar in itself will help clear up poison ivy. It will help take out that itch. So combining plantain and vinegar is very effective. So for fresh herb, you fill the jar up pretty much to the top. And if you had dried plantain, you would fill it up halfway, but I really recommend fresh for something like this because it will be more effective. But if I only had dried, I would do that too. And you just cover it. I have raw apple cider vinegar here. And you just cover it, fill it up to within about 1 inch of the top of the jar, and you let it sit. And shake it, every day if you think of it, or just a few times a week. As often as you think of it, give it a shake, and you set it in a cool, dark place for 2 to 4 weeks, and the vinegar will pull out the healing properties of the plantain, and then you strain it. After 2 to 4 weeks, you strain the herb out of the vinegar, and then you have a plantain tincture, and you just apply it, dip a cotton ball in it or something and apply it to the poison ivy, and it will dry it up. And one thing that we found out is if you scratch the poison ivy and then apply the tincture, it will just heal it even faster. And it does burn. I will say that it burns if you scratch it and apply it, but it's actually a relief a lot of times because you're itching so bad that if you put that on there and it's burning, then it's actually a relief. So this is something that we really like to use for poison ivy. Another thing is oatmeal soap. And sometimes people will sell handmade soap and they'll call it poison ivy soap. And really their only main secret is oatmeal. Oatmeal dries up poison ivy. So what you do if you use oatmeal soap is you just lather it up and you apply the suds on the poison ivy and you let it dry. And we just leave it on there for a while, for 30 minutes, an hour, however long, and that helps relieve it. And whenever it starts itching again, you just reapply it until it's gone. And then another remedy that we really like is chickweed salve, and we made this ourselves, and very simple to make. It's just chickweed, and it has the beeswax and the vitamin E oil to help make it a salve. Chickweed is a drawing herb, and that is very effective in drying out the poison ivy, and you just apply it just like you would any salve, just applying it to the poison ivy. We've used this many times, and it just stops the spread, takes away the itch, and it's gone. And we've been very impressed with the chickweed salve also. So these are just some remedies that I've used. There's a lot of people that don't know what to do. They end up in the emergency room because they're so miserable, or they go to the doctor, and we've been able to avoid doctor trips using these home remedies because some of my children get it really bad. And so for more information, more home remedies, you can visit my website at jillshomерemedies.com.